In the minutes that had just passed, the entertainment world was shaken by a statement that shook the hearts of fans and provoked a big question among the wider public. Jungkook, a star who has been known for his outspoken attitude, suddenly revealed the shocking facts about the bullying that befell BTS V Taehyung after his return from the military camp. How could such an emotional and controversial incident have happened? Is there a dark secret that has been hidden behind the perfect image of idols? With mixed feelings of concern and surprise, this revelation immediately ignites speculation and deep questions. Who is the mastermind behind this shocking event? And what is the true meaning of each sentence that Jungkook reveals? Observers and fans were silent, watching every detail presented in the statement with burning curiosity. In the dimness of the stressful post-military training atmosphere, Taehyung's return to the familiar and harsh environment of the military camp left not only a physical scar in the form of an inert wound on his shoulder, but also a seemingly incurable mental wound. The fact that such intense and rigorous training led to incidents that are now associated with bullying behavior adds to the complexity of the story that is being revealed. Jungkook's statement, delivered in a serious and emotional tone, opens the veil on what is really going on behind the walls of the military camp, a place that has always been considered a character-building arena, but now harbors an unexpected dark side. Amid the frenzied routine of unforgiving military exercises, the big question arises: does the training system hide improper practices? And who is responsible for Taehyung's injuries? Taehyung, who is known for his gentle charm and high charisma, now has to face the harsh reality of injuries that are not only physical, but also emotional. The emergence of allegations of bullying in an environment that should uphold discipline and solidarity raises great concern, given the reputation and image of the BTS group that has been synonymous with cooperation and family. Will this event open the eyes of many to how complex the internal dynamics in the military training system is? Or is this just an isolated case that was later exaggerated by the media spotlight and fan speculation, going deeper into the layers of events? An in-depth investigation reveals that the incident that befell Taehyung was not merely an accident that occurred in the middle of strenuous training, but rather a phenomenon that has deeper roots. Witnesses who were in the military camp began to suggest that there was psychological pressure and a culture of violence that seemed to have become ingrained in the environment. The atmosphere, which was originally designed to shape character and discipline, turned out to hold the potential to cause deep pain both physically and mentally. The question arises, is bullying in this context a deliberate method to encourage resilience, or is it a failure of the system that must be remedied immediately in order to preserve the well-being of the members? In the shadow of harsh military exercises, this harsh reality leaves wounds that probably will not heal easily, especially when masked by the hierarchy and rigidity of deeply rooted traditions. The reaction of the other BTS members did not remain silent. Some of them are reported to have expressed moral support for Taehyung, although in limited conditions due to the strict rules governing communication in the military environment. The atmosphere of solidarity that had been inherent between the members was now tested by the fact that one of them had to undergo inhumane treatment. On the other hand, Jungkook's remarks also sparked deep concerns about how pressure and high expectations can change the dynamics of relationships between members, even in an environment that should be full of friendship and warmth. Amid the growing media spotlight, fans are anxiously following every development, hoping that the truth will be revealed and justice will be done for Taehyung. In the minds of many, it is imagined that this event may be a sign that there is a system that needs to be renovated, both in the military environment and in the way we perceive the violence that is hidden behind training routines. Undeniably, the news that has just been revealed also opens a discussion about the role of the media and the responsibility of public figures in voicing the truth. Jungkook, who has been known to be quite quiet in talking about the group's internal problems, suddenly became the center of attention with his courage to convey surprising facts. This action not only caused a stir, but also invited heated debate over the boundary between privacy and the need to reveal the truth for the common good. Amid the barrage of comments coming from various circles, the question arises, will Jungkook's courage bring about positive changes in the military training environment or just the opposite? Every word he uttered contained an emotional force capable of stirring hearts, but it also left deep scars for those directly involved in the incident. An ethical dilemma arises, where observers question whether justice can be done without sacrificing the privacy and harmony that has long been fostered among members. In the course of unraveling these complex layers of events, the facts revealed turn out to harbor elements that are much more surprising than expected. Scattered information from various circles, although not yet thoroughly verified, suggests that the practice of bullying in the military environment may have lasted much longer than the public knows. Many voices began to call for the need for reform and renewal of the training system, so that no more individuals would have to suffer the consequences of the culture of violence that circulated behind strict discipline. Various parties emphasize the importance of transparency and accountability in every stage of training, especially considering how vulnerable the physical and mental condition of personnel who are facing tremendous pressure. Behind every visible wound, there are sad stories that should be a valuable lesson to build a more humane environment and support the welfare of all parties. The controversy surrounding Jungkook's remarks also raised concerns about the mental health of military personnel. In a stressful environment and rigid hierarchies, each individual seems to be trapped in a system that is difficult to refute or change. Taehyung, who must now face recovery from his wounds, becomes a symbol of how vulnerable humans are in the face of systemic pressures that do not always favor the good. Many psychologists and military experts began to issue their opinion that cases like this should be a call for deep introspection about how the training system is run. They stressed the importance of a more humanist and empathic approach in educating and training personnel so that similar incidents do not happen again. Is it time we revisit the values that underlie military discipline so that justice and humanity can go hand in hand without compromising any of them? Behind the controversy, there are also inspiring stories of solidarity and resistance to injustice. Some of his comrades in arms who were in the military camp were rumored to have given moral support to Taehyung, despite the time and space constraints that bound strict rules. These harrowing little stories seem to be a ray of hope in the midst of darkness, that there may still be room for improvement and justice, even in a system that seems frozen and devoid of empathy. Every support given, even if only in the form of gentle words, has a deep meaning that shows that behind every wound, there is always the potential to heal and rise again. But amid those hopes, fears remain that the courage to speak the truth, as Jungkook did, may face rejection and even unexpected retribution. The atmosphere full of contradictions is what makes this event more complex and requires serious attention from various related parties. It is undeniable that this disclosure also triggered a strong reaction from the military apparatus who felt the need to straighten out the facts circulating. The authorities at the military camp immediately conducted an internal investigation to ensure that every detail reported had a solid basis and was not merely an issue exaggerated by the media. In an official statement issued hours after Jungkook's revelation, it said that any incident that occurred during the training would be thoroughly examined, and the military was committed to cracking down on any form of action that could damage the integrity and safety of its personnel. However, the statement seemed unable to erase widespread public concern, given how deep the wounds have been inflicted by Taehyung and how diverse the stories that emerge from behind the walls of the military camp. Critical questions arise from observers. Will this internal investigation really bring justice? Or is it just a formality step that is not able to address the real root of the problem? The decisions and actions taken in the next few days will largely determine how the image of the military institution will be, as well as the fate of the personnel who have been fighting for a long time under heavy systemic pressure.